No matter how much we get released, is there always going to be something that wasn't released or handled or corrected?
A lot of people think that she is Blue Ivy's biological mother. And the timelines of these two pregnancies line up perfect.
A few days go by and I'm following up with her, I'm calling her, and I can't get a hold of her. And I believe that this went on for a few days.
Did one of Epstein's survivors just confirm the identity of Cathy White's daughter? Because for years, there have been rumors floating around that Blue Ivy Carter isn't actually Beyoncé's biological daughter. Some even claim she might be Cathy White's child instead, or at least that Cathy White acted as a surrogate for Beyoncé and Jay-Z. That's why people say Blue Ivy resembles her. Then there's that viral clip where Beyoncé's baby bump appears to fold in an unusual way. Ever since that moment, the internet has been running wild with all kinds of theories. But what if it's not about Blue Ivy at all? What if Cathy White's daughter actually exists somewhere, completely hidden? Let's be real, if something like that were true, powerful figures like Jay-Z and Beyoncé would likely go to great lengths to keep it private. And now, an alleged statement from one of Jeffrey Epstein's survivors is adding fuel to the fire, hinting at something deeper. Could this finally be the moment people think they'll uncover the truth? So how did all of this even start? Some of you might be wondering, who is Cathy White, and why is her name suddenly everywhere? Let's go back to the beginning. Cathy White was a PR executive and model based in New York. She was doing well for herself, working with celebrities, attending high-end events, and moving within elite social circles. She even had small acting roles, including a part in Deep in the Valley, and was frequently seen at industry parties. That's how her name first became associated with that world. Around 2010, things started to get messy. Blogs, especially Media Takeout, began publishing claims that she was allegedly involved in a long-term affair with Jay-Z. It's important to note that these claims were never proven. However, once the rumors hit the internet, people ran with them. They started analyzing her lifestyle, her travels, and the events she attended, questioning whether something more was going on. Then, in 2011, Cathy White passed away at just 29 years old. The official cause of death was a brain aneurysm. But, as expected, the internet didn't stop there. Rumors emerged suggesting she was about to speak to a reporter before her death. Once that idea spread, it changed how people viewed the situation. Suddenly, her death became part of a much larger and more mysterious narrative in the public's mind.
Would consider telling her story to me on the record, which implied to me, obviously, that if she was willing to tell her story about Jay-Z, that it was indeed true that she was having an affair with him.
Now, there are people online who believe her death wasn't natural and that it may have been intended to silence her. There is absolutely no confirmed evidence to support that claim, but the theory has persisted for years. Officially, her death was attributed to a brain aneurysm. At the same time, another narrative began gaining traction, one that tries to connect Cathy White to Blue Ivy Carter. Some conspiracy communities claim that Cathy White was pregnant and that this is somehow linked to Blue Ivy's birth. This is exactly why the hospital situation keeps getting brought up again and again. When Blue Ivy was born, there were real reports that Beyoncé had extremely tight security at the hospital. Entire sections of the maternity ward were reportedly restricted, and some parents even spoke out, saying they couldn't properly access their own babies during that time.
And they shut the whole hospital down, and people who had just had their babies couldn't see their babies for 20.
Then the internet took all of that and started asking questions. People began wondering why everything was so tightly locked down, and that's where the theories really took off. Some claimed that after Cathy White's death, a newborn was secretly rushed to a New York hospital for emergency care, and that the lockdown wasn't just about celebrity privacy, but about controlling who could see what was happening. From there, the speculation only grew. Some people suggested that Cathy White was pregnant with Jay-Z's child as a result of an alleged affair. Others claimed she may have been acting as a surrogate and experienced complications, pointing out that celebrities sometimes turn to surrogacy in such situations. Then things went even deeper. People started bringing up that viral clip of Beyoncé sitting down during an interview, where her baby bump appeared to fold in an unusual way. You've probably seen that clip. Platforms like TikTok have replayed it countless times. For some viewers, that moment alone was enough to make them question the entire pregnancy.
I'm good. It's a beautiful baby bump. No wonder Beyonce is blooming. This really is Destiny's Child. First of all, congratulations.
Thanks.
And then, of course, the music gets pulled into the conversation as well. Beyoncé's song Daughter has been heavily analyzed, with people trying to link its lyrics to these theories. The track explores themes like regret, revenge, and consequences, and some listeners have taken that and run with it, claiming it sounds like a hidden confession. When she performed the song live and became emotional, even appearing to cry on stage, it only added fuel to the speculation. People started asking, wait, is there more to this?
Oh my God!
Then you've got Jaguar right, and you already know she doesn't hold back when it comes to speaking about the industry. She has openly talked about Cathy White's death, claiming it wasn't peaceful and hinting that powerful people may have been involved. Even though none of these claims have been proven, statements like these are exactly why the theories continue to circulate. At the same time, Jay-Z and Beyoncé's legal team has stepped in multiple times to shut down such allegations. For example, in late 2024, when similar claims were discussed on Piers Morgan Uncensored, Piers Morgan later returned on air to issue an apology, stating that their lawyers had demonstrated the accusations were completely false and had no factual basis.
But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyonce.
So officially, these narratives have been denied and even legally challenged, but you already know how the internet reacts to that. Now, let's talk about the Epstein connection, because that's what a lot of people have been waiting for. Online, some users have tried to link Jay-Z to other controversial figures. One name that frequently comes up is Harvey Weinstein. Back in 2016, Jay-Z had a professional deal with the Weinstein Company, collaborating on several projects. There's also a moment people often reference, where Harvey Weinstein defended Jay-Z from paparazzi. What made it stand out even more was that he referred to Jay-Z as his friend, something that has since fueled even more speculation online.
You know what? This is a labor of love for Jay, and as a result, he's my friend. We're here to talk about that and nothing else.
Then can I ask you about mass incarceration? And do you think the movement is...
After that, a lot of people began assuming that Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein were quite close behind the scenes. Then, more recently, Jay-Z's name was also mentioned in connection with Jeffrey Epstein by one of the alleged victims. Online, however, people often group powerful figures together and build birds of a feather narratives, assuming that if one connection exists, there must be many more hidden links behind the scenes. Some also claim that individuals who attended these parties or witnessed certain events may know far more than has been publicly revealed. At the same time, it's often pointed out that many documents related to Epstein have yet to be released. There has been speculation that someone with knowledge of these events has spoken about Jay-Z, adding even more intrigue to the discussion. And according to these online narratives, what is known about Cathy White may only scratch the surface. All of this eventually leads to one big question: if Blue Ivy Carter is not Cathy White's daughter, then who is? There are plenty of theories, but no verified answers. Some believe that if Cathy White did have a child, her identity would be completely hidden, possibly protected through powerful networks. The internet, of course, has no shortage of opinions. Some users suggest that Beyoncé may have used a surrogate. Others point back to old interviews and viral clips as evidence, claiming similarities or unusual moments. There are even more extreme claims and personal speculation circulating online, though none of them are supported by credible proof. If anything concrete were ever to emerge, it would likely change how people view the entire situation. But as of now, it remains a mix of rumors, theories, and speculation. So the real question is there actually something behind all of this, or is this simply the internet doing what it does best, connecting dots that may not truly be connected? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.